Hey everyone, Jason here. I wanted to create another SJG video to talk about the really exciting two new features that will be available starting today. So as I mentioned in the Facebook post, these features are going to be exclusive to those who are using Pushover. So if you're not using Pushover, there are instructions in the Facebook group on how to install Pushover and get access to these two new features that I'll be talking about today. So the first new feature I want to talk about is table plus minus. And what that means is, have you ever wanted to know exactly once you exit a table, exactly what your plus minus is for that table? Well, now you'll be able to get a notification via Pushover telling you what that is. So let me show you how it works. So I'm logged in here under my SetSpike account. I'm going to go ahead and join table 1B here. And I'm going to go ahead and buy into the table and I'll start. So imagine if I was playing here and then when it's time to leave, I go ahead and use the normal leave functionality. And once I leave the table, you'll notice on my screen, or I'm sharing out also my iPhone here to this screen, that I got a notification saying I just left table 1B with an overall plus minus of 0. So I was basically even for this table, obviously. But if I had won any or lost any, that 0 there in the top right would reflect exactly what my plus minus is. So this is something everyone who is using Pushover should have already seen, as I implemented this last week. And so, but I wanted to make a public announcement that you can get this feature again if you're using Pushover. Okay. Now this brings us to our second new feature. And to give some background on this, for those of you who are playing on SJG, you are obviously either a friend of mine or a friend of a friend who has an account here on SJG. And this friend or friend of a friend connection was done purposely in order to keep our poker community relatively close, relatively small. And again, this isn't a site where we're trying to allow anyone and everyone the ability to play. So given that, sometimes, I've heard from folks, it's like, hey, I'd like to know when so-and-so is playing, when so-and-so is logged in, because you like to play with your friends on the site. And so today I'm introducing player alerts. And so how does that work? So again, this is an exclusive feature to Pushover. And I'd like you to introduce or show you how player alerts will work. So in order to use player alerts, you're going to want to use the lobby chat functionality. And so I've built in some code in order to show you exactly how you can see your player alerts and then add player alerts to your own account, depending on who you want to get an alert for. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to type in the word alert. This has to be all lowercase. And when I hit enter, you'll see over on the Pushover side that I will get an alert whenever Jay Dizzler or Palace sits down to at a table. So if Jay Dizzler or Palace were logged in and sat down at a table, I would get an alert via Pushover. How do I change this list? So again, you can go back into lobby chat and I can type in the word alert add, all lowercase, then a colon, and I'm going to go ahead and type in the account test 02. And you'll see over on the Pushover side on my phone, once I add that account in, I can now see that test 2 has been added to my alert list. And if I go back and type alert again, you'll see that I now have test 2 on my list. So what does that look like? What does the alert look like when test 2 joins a table? So now I'm going to bring you up to the test 2's browser, and I'll go ahead and join table 1C here. I'll go ahead and sit down. And once I sit down, you'll see that now over on the right side on Pushover, I have received a notification saying that test 2 has joined 1C. So this gives you the ability to now see when you have friends who have joined a table. So, so you can go ahead and play with him or her. What happens if you don't want to get any further alerts for a specific account? So it's just as easy to update it in the chat. This time you're going to want to type in the word alert DEL for alert delete, and you use the same format, a colon, and then test 2. And if I go ahead and hit enter there, you'll see that test 2 has been removed from my list. And I can go ahead and type in alert again. Again, it's all lowercase here for that first word. And you can see over on the right side, only Jay Dizzler and Palace remain on my list. So if you're not using Pushover, so let me bring you back up to test 2. Test 2 doesn't have Pushover assigned to it. So if I tried the word alert, it's, you're going to see a test 2. You need to install Pushover and provide your Pushover ID before you can use this function. The other thing I've enabled is, or built in, is that you need to make sure that all of the accounts that you add to your list have the correct spelling in terms of case as well. So as you can see, test 2, if I decided to type in test 2 with lowercase letters, not putting in the correct capitalization, you'll see what happens, that, hey, test 2 account doesn't exist. Please check spelling and case sensitivity. So this is player alerts. You know, I hope you're just as excited as I am about it. I think it's gonna help everyone be able to see when your friends are playing on the server and you want to be able to play with them as well. And so if you have any questions, hope you enjoy it. So if you have any questions, please shoot me a message on Facebook or shoot a message to the sjg.poker@gmail account. All right. Hope everyone's doing well. Take care. Bye-bye.